so my boss tells me, well, she kind of describes her being as heavy set. Okay. So, and I said to myself, oh no, she's not heavy set. She's blah, 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 blah. And she's got short hair and she's going to be wearing flat shoes. So I meet her the next day and she has the short hair. She was right in the weight length, the weight area that I thought she was going to be, and she was wearing flat shoes. So that was kind of cool. I know. So another time, I went out to breakfast with a friend of mine who I have a really funky connection with. Her one of her grandmothers was she's half African American and half Native American, and one of her grandmothers was a medicine woman. So she comes with sensitivities anyways, let's put it that way. So we go out to breakfast and she was describing how she was going to be helping this young girl do something, which I'm not going to get into. And because the girl didn't have a mother or any parents. I said, okay. So we're sitting there and I'm saying, I don't know, I'm getting this funny feeling. And I said, and she said something, and I said, no, it's not about the girl, it's about you. So now I start getting like goosey bumps on my arms. And I start kind of getting annoyed. Well, no, it's none of my business what she's doing. But anyways, I'm getting annoyed. And oh, see, I'm getting them now. So anyways, the conversation's going back and forth. I'm going, I don't even know why I'm saying this stuff to you. It's just coming out. So I said, after this, I don't think you should be doing this anymore. This is not, you just shouldn't be doing this anymore. So by that time, oh God, I'm getting them again. Goosebumps from head to, oh, I've got goosebumps all over my body right now. Anyways, so she starts crying. And I guess I kind of leaned back, folded my arms, and tilted my head. And she says, Ann, she goes, you're talking just the way my grandma White would have told me if she didn't want me to do anything. And she would have sat back and she would have folded her arms just like you are. I said, oh God, I guess your grandma White is here. So it was just crazy. And I guess she knew that her grandmother would not have liked her to be doing whatever it is she's doing. So it was really, really interesting.
I'd love to share. I would love to share information in response to that, if you don't mind that it's coming through for you, Ann, or actually for everyone. So yes, in the old paradigm, right, we would claim that as mediumship, right? And it is mediumship. However, in the new paradigm, in the new direction, in the new, or actually the way and the truth of oneness, you were just simply truly connected in the oneness, the grid of oneness, which includes the grandmother.
Oh, okay.
You see the difference? Yeah, now I'm getting the energy.
I think I'm getting to understand it, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's not that it's in the human, right, in the history of the evolution, it is mediumship, but it's so much more than just mediumship. You were literally in the matrix of the one I am, which includes the grandmother in the oneness.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So you'll see as that continues, as you continue working with that, with the oneness gathering, you'll identify that more and more and more, which will open us up more and more and more to get that intel and the codes from the one consciousness, really. So that's what's coming through for everyone. So, yeah, I'm so happy for you. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Weird, but cool.
I have something to share for Ann and again for all of us. With the experience, Ann, that you shared earlier, It's being impressed upon me to remind you, or to help you understand, actually, and ask for the reminders that the grandmother, when you started feeling frustrated and right, humans perceive that consciousness that has shed the body and what we term are in spirit are more evolved, whether it's an ascended master or just a loved one. That's not true all the time at all. And so there are those in the human experience still within the physical body that have more of an understanding than those that have shed their body and are in spirit. So the message for you, for all of us, is to understand that in the oneness, and as you continue to claim and identify in the loving oneness of the one I am, and being the effector and not the affected, that you can assist the grandmother in her evolutionary journey. Okay? And to again step into being the effector and the powerful divine crystalline being of loving light of Mother Father, to assist not just the perceived through the human grandmother, the individual, but put the intention, set the intention to assist all that might be having that similar struggle still, whether they're in spirit or they're in body, because it's all energy and consciousness. But that's going to assist you. You will feel the energy when you work with that as that and step in being the energy and claiming being the energy, being the one I am. You will be the effector. It's simply that perceptional focus point that has the human mind being the divinity and the truth. But you will be able to not only assist her evolutionary process, but any consciousness that is aligned still, and that's what you would want to do, is put the intention out. As an example, this grandmother, any consciousness, whether in body or out, any consciousness that is still struggling with that, what humans call ego, frustration, you should be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, the judgment, so that you are your individuated experience as Ian is here, and your input into the matrix is in alignment with the truth of the one I am. Yes. Do you feel that difference?
Yes, it makes sense. It's very interesting that you even say that. And it just is, because you don't think of that when somebody passes to a different dimension, that they're different, but they're still carrying on their human, please correct me if I'm right or wrong on this, they're carrying on their human traits, whether it be ego or not or whatever. And that may not necessarily be true or correct. Am I correct in saying that?
The answer to that is that within human consciousness and the limitation that the human consciousness is and experiences, we just automatically do perceive it that anyone that's not here, that sheds their body, is more
Okay.
evolved. And it's just not necessarily true. I'll give you an example. My papa, my grandfather on my father's side, he came through one night when I was at my father's, and my father had ALS and was struggling, and we knew that it was not going to be long. And my dad spoke about giving all of Papa's tools in the garage to my brother Steve. And Papa came through, and he was totally not the enlightened, evolved, right? And was adamant, I do not want him to have it. And his specific reasons of the way that my brother was towards my father. So again, it's just an example. Humans perceive, and especially folks like us that are on the spiritual journey, that we're going through the ascension process, the evolutionary process, what a lot of people talk about, the 5D. However, it's not the soul evolves. We are soul. And does human consciousness evolve as soul? Yes. But it's always the truth of us that we are soul. And soul is in their own evolutionary process, okay, through the individuated until you get to the oversoul. And then even the oversoul only understands to the point of its evolution. But again, that's why we're just going direct to the truth of the one I am, because all the other parts of it is not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's just a good example of understanding and then claiming that you can not only help the one I am and the overall consciousness with the grandmother, but so much more in the unlimited, powerful creator beings of the truth of us that we are. And again, it's just the perception through the human mind as you're having the human experience is where you have to really, we have to be as impeccable as we can and to remember as much as we can the truth of us. That's why it's important that we're doing what we're doing in a repetitive to ground ourselves in that remembrance of truth here through the human perceptual field. So I hope that helps.
It does. Thank you.
Good.
Well, Carl used to say, just because someone's in spirit doesn't mean they know more than you. Remember him saying that? Yeah.
Mhm.
He used to say that.
I'm sorry, who said that?
Paul Hewitt. He used to say, just because someone's in spirit doesn't mean they know more than you.
Oh, Carl did. Well, yes, it's true. It's true. I agree with you, Carl.
He also said that
absolutely.
he also said things don't change when you go to the spirit world. You don't become suddenly enlightened. You take whatever knowledge you have, whatever attitudes, all that stuff, and just continue on. So yeah, your grandfather, it sounds like what fell into that.